If the law changes because our legislature changes it, we'll uphold the law. If the law changes because our state courts strike it down or change it, we're going to uphold the law. If a federal court does it, it goes through the process, we'll uphold the law. That said, I got to tell you, this is part of the rhetoric that I think harms the conversation. These are all sincerely held beliefs on both sides of this issue, whether it's transgender athletes or any of these things. These are sincerely held beliefs. So folks on both sides of this conversation, my message to them is keep exercising your civic responsibility to speak out and share your beliefs. That's what it's about. The initiative process that's underway, that's about them trying to change the law. That's a legal process, and so I really respect that. What gets lost in this is we've had transgender athletes for decades and decades and decades, and our schools know how to protect their privacy and their interests and the privacy and interest of everyone else. We've been doing this a long time. It's acute now because somebody's determined that it's a really good wedge issue politically. It isn't that it's ramping up or that it's new. So we're going to keep following those court cases. We're going to follow the state laws. We're going to protect all students' privacy. Our laws actually focus on privacy. That's not really well known. It's not just transgender athletes who get to express their preference based on self-identity, but any student who doesn't feel comfortable in a locker room or what have you gets access to either a private space or a space where they feel safe. All students, not just transgender youth. So there's some myth busting that will go on here, but let's let the process play out, both our initiative process as well as our legal processes. And in the meantime, I just keep encouraging our school districts, follow the law. That's what your job is. Let the courts figure this out, and let policy changes potentially figure this out. But our transgender youth are vulnerable. We know about the higher suicide rates. We know that they need belonging like everybody else. I think our state does a good job in those protections. Some people disagree, and it's their right to pursue changes in that regard. But I hope, as I said earlier, we can still make this around kids and what's best for them. We're talking about young people trying to figure out who they are in the world, and they don't need to be dehumanized. I've been doing a lot of research and a lot of reading lately on the comparisons between the 1920s and the 2020s. Stock market booms and speculations and all that stuff, but also social culturally, and the attacks on gay and lesbian people in the 1920s, and this culture of it's all choice and it's all mental health disease. I hear that rhetoric today, and it's disgusting. These are folks living their authentic lives, and we need to respect that as they go through that process and protect everyone's privacy along the way. We can do that without dehumanizing people or the leaders who are trying to uphold the law as it exists today. So again, I would encourage everyone to tone down the rhetoric that does the harm. Do follow your civic opportunity here to make change. That's part of the process. But we can do right by all kids by being good role models of how to debate civilly and respectfully and respect the diversity of all of our families and communities. I think we need to up our game.